What's up, guys? Jason here with Byte My Bits. It is late on a Friday night. I may have had a couple beers, but I finally learned something that has been driving me wild ever since I started this whole UniFi adventure. And I finally figured it out. And of course, by figuring it out, I mean somebody on Discord told me what was wrong. Yeah, ignore all this, by the way. It's light bulb, ubiquity stuff, mounting hardware. I have a camping trip coming up next weekend. I'm actually going to be using this as a Plex media server / Plex client on the camping trip with the projector. It's going to be awesome. If you guys have not entered the giveaway for this, check out the description below. It's seriously about to expire on the 16th. And the best part is because I am a small YouTube channel, you actually have a pretty good chance of winning. Seriously, check it out. Okay, so apparently UniFi has this problem, right? And it's a fixable thing, I imagine. It's just a firmware bug. But as you know, I've switched everything over to UniFi. I've got the UDM Pro. I've got like a big PoE 24-port switch. I'm thinking about getting some other switches in the attic. And then I put the LR6, or the Long Range Wi-Fi 6 access point. Actually, I put that right there. Look at that. See that? It's a perfect spot. It's really good. But I also talked to UniFi, and they're like, oh, hey, we'll send you more. You like that? You like that? It's a thing. Okay, she doesn't care. So I got 2 more of these, and I'm going to spread them out. I'm gonna have signal down the block, right? Like, so amazing. So the entire idea was to get rid of my TP-Link. Like, seriously, I had this TP-Link just sitting up here. This is what it did. It worked really well for a long time, but you know, it's TP-Link. It's a hardcore consumer basic stuff, right? UniFi, ubiquity, all kinds of things, like things you could control, transmission power, just frequencies, way better in every way. But here's the problem. I have been actively seeking a way to switch a ton of products in my house to smart products. I'm talking light switches, plug-ins, outlets, garage door openers, etc. And I've been looking for a brand that works with HomeKit, right? So I can say, you know, Siri do this, Siri do that, and is reliable. Doesn't have to launch an app to refresh it or get something back up and going, you know. Like, if you're into this like whole smart home thing, there's little nuances with different brands. Spoiler alert, I'm going back to TP-Link. Now, I've been testing out all kind of things, including RGB, right? I built this whole crafting room thing, and I put RGBs underneath it. This is Miros stuff. I have a surge protector that I can control each individual plug outlet, i.e., you know, 3D printers if I want to turn them off remotely, all with Miros. I have the garage door opener. This is where it all started. The garage door opener has been the single most reliable garage door opener that I've checked. Like, check this out. See this? It's blinking. You want to know why it's blinking? Because it's not freaking connected to the Wi-Fi ubiquity network that I set up. And this irritates the crap out of me because, I mean, UniFi, ubiquity, it's synonymous with just like, whoosh. On a prosumer level, ubiquity, right? It's supposed to be awesome. All the features, all the tracking, all the blocking. Yes, there's people that will disagree with me. Yes, there's probably flaws and benefits to other, but you know what? I've been wanting a UniFi setup for a long time, right? But this freaking access point disconnects smart things, i.e. more specifically, Miros, and that bugs the crap out of me. I spent hours racking my brain trying to figure out why this didn't work. And you know what I found out? It's a bug, a known issue with ubiquity. Like, you see this light bulb? I was so like emotionally drained. I was laying in bed with this light bulb plugged into just some lamp, turning it on and off, connecting it, disconnecting it, reconnecting it to the Ubiquiti UniFi network, and watching it as it disconnected, like over and over again. I changed everything: frequencies, power, transmission, features, every single feature that I could possibly try. I tried, and I could not get this thing to work reliably. But you know what? Look at that. It's booting up right now. If luck would have it, and I don't believe in a lot of higher power stuff, but when I hooked all this up, I made the decision. I was like, you know what, Jason? You never know what you're gonna need this extra cable for. That's ran through the attic, down the wall, and out a hole, right? I did all this specifically just for this access point, just to set up this TP-Link as a wireless access point only. It didn't do any routing, didn't do anything like that. It wasn't a router. It was just a Wi-Fi access point. It worked really well for a very long time. And I decided I'm gonna keep this wire here because I don't know what I can use it for, but you know, I went through all the effort of drilling a hole and fishing it through the wall. Why get rid of it? Especially when I have plenty of wires in the attic, just sitting there. Like, you know, now I know my solution. So here's the thing. UniFi has, it's a bug. It's a known issue. People are on the forums. They're talking about it. Like HomeKit devices. Ross seems to be the biggest victim here. But, you know, HomeKit devices, they just seem to disconnect. You can't keep them connected longer than, let's say, 5 minutes. And light bulbs specifically, which is the one I was testing the most, if you're changing the color a lot, it's done. Like any kind of massive communication, whatever, it's done. I have zero doubts in my mind that this will be fixed in a firmware update or some software update or whatever later on in the future. But because I want my garage door opener working, I want my smart plugs working, I want my light bulbs to work, which I actually don't use them for anything, but I will at some point. I'm going back to TP-Link to run with my Ubiquiti stuff. Like, I have this awesome freaking Ubiquiti Wi-Fi. Look at this. Look at this. This thing is so awesome. Wait. Line it up. I'll line it up. Let's see. Which hole do I stick this in? I went everywhere around my house. I took every smart device, everything that's connected, robot vacuums, etc., and I put them all on a different SSID. I called it my new SSD, you know, IoT, and it was only 2.4 gigahertz, right? And that's all it did. It's just Internet of Things devices. But for the life of me, I could not get this thing to work, and now I know the solution. TP-Link. Wait, it's red. Maybe I stuck it in the wrong hole. There we go. See? Sometimes when you stick it in the wrong hole, you just got to pull it out and stick it in the right hole. You know? Whole lives matter. This is my Internet of Things, right? Sky IoT. Got my password, 2.4 gigahertz only, because most of these devices are only 2.4 gigahertz. I went through and clicked and unclicked all of these different options, right? I spent hours trying to figure out, like, trying different, you know, everything. Like, I tried every single freaking option that I could possibly do, Googling things, learning things, trying to figure it out. But now I need to disable this. Just like that. This right here, I'm gonna copy this, I'm gonna disable this, and apply. So now Sky IoT is no longer functioning. TP-Link plugged in, operation mode. This is only a Wi-Fi access point. Going down to wireless settings. Originally I had Byte My Bits 2.4, not a big deal. Now I'm going to change this, okay? I'm going to change this. Check this out. Sky IoT. Boom. This should work. This is 2.4, right? Wait, is it 2.4? Yeah, this should work. Everything should be good, and then I'm gonna disable 5 gigahertz. So now that I have my TP-Link standalone Internet of Things thing set up, here's my smart light bulb. This is from me, Ross. I am seriously considering, I mean, it's like $500-600 worth of stuff, maybe even more, like converting a lot and all of my primarily used smart switches over to Miros because their HomeKit devices are super freaking reliable. So let's test this thing out. Here's what happened before. Whenever I connected to the smart light bulb, I go into the app, I control it, right? I turn the color. I would get, I don't know, maybe a half a turn to, like, it was anywhere between half a turn to like 3 turns, like rotating the RGB status or changing the brightness of it, etc., and it would disconnect. So I racked my brain, trying to figure this out. Why was this doing this? And now I'm gonna test it out again, running off the TP-Link. Since I set up the new network, it's 2.4 gigahertz only. It's running completely off the TP-Link, and it's like, 4 feet away from the switch router access point. Realistically, this thing should be good. Also, now that I have this separate thing, I gotta unplug the garage door because it's blinking, right? Gotta unplug that and then plug it back in. Let's see if that works. I have went through, I've reset all of my lights. I've changed the color. I've tested them. So far, so good. Running a separate, embarrassingly enough, TP-Link router to only do 2.4 gigahertz, which, by the way, if you guys don't know, like, these smart companies or whatever, they do 2.4 gigahertz, to my knowledge. 1, because the technology, the chip is cheaper, and 2, mainly because 2.4, just based off the frequency range itself, has a longer reach than 5 gigahertz does. So, 2.4 makes sense, and having a dedicated Internet of Things 2.4 wireless frequency still kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? But now everything's reliable. I have my RGB switch underneath my desk downstairs in the crafting room. I have my garage door openers, everything connected. So far, they haven't disconnected. So, hey, total win. But now you really want to test the reliability of a light switch. However, I don't want to take apart like a socket, like I don't want to like pull it out of the wall, turn off the power, and actually change the light switch. So this is where a little bit of redneck innovation comes in, where I'm just going to slice a random power cord, hook it up to the freaking light switch, and see what happens. By the way, side note, my yearly camping trip is coming up, and I cannot wait to get this 4-wheeler just out in the dirt, the mud, the sand. Listen to this thing purr. Woo! Yeah! Do you ever like lose your beer and you're like, what the heck did I do with this? Like, I can't. This sucks. Found it. Yeah, so I got these new koozies. Look at that. 100,000, because that happened 10 years ago and I wanted to celebrate it 10 years later. So should I sell these? I got like 100 of them. I have no idea. Tell me if you guys want it. So now I got to get a little bit of redneck creativity, right? This is the light switch that I want to put all over my house. This is a switch right here. Look at this. Look at this. This is a switch. This is it right here. Yes, I could hook this up to the wall. I could do things the right way. But that's just not the type of person that I am. Hi, cat. I have a cat. Cat likes me. Okay, cat doesn't like me. Screw you, cat. I just want to preface the following activities with I am a trained professional, and you should not try this at home. I give you knife. I give you wire. I give you cutting board. Okay, let's try this. You ready? Ready? Like how much? Like, screw it. Did that work? Oh, kind of worked. It's so close. Like for example, got line in, got line out. I hooked them up. You know, YOLO. Who knows if this? All right, first plug. Let's see what happens. Okay, it didn't blow up. That's good. And it's giving me the wiggly, and I should add it. Oh, yeah. Holy crap, you ever get something like on the first try and you think to yourself, like, how did I not start a fire? That is literally what happened. I'm freaking out right now. Got it all plugged in. So check it out. This jankety wire doesn't matter. Look at that. Right? Right? Look. Oh, it works. I'll even get it connected. Yeah. Okay. You know what I realized? I cannot show the turning off and on reliably while I'm using the app on my phone. So, you know, hey, downside, but I turn this thing on and off like, I don't know, a dozen times, right? Totally reliable. Also, got this light up here. Been flipping that freaking thing to change the color as much as I possibly could. Also reliable. I also have another lamp over here. Look at this, different color. Been changing that light bulb. Also reliable. And look at this. I got the garage door openers, plus I have plugins to control the big lights because these are the tiny lights right there. Those are the tiny lights. And I have the big, super bright, like, let's do, you know, whatever hot guy shit and just like have big, super lights going on. Those are all separate on a Miros plugin. So they all work. None of them is disconnected. It's a totally ubiquity thing, UniFi thing. They need a firmware update. That's the entire point of this video, is that something is going on, something is wrong. I've read 10% of what I found online. As soon as somebody mentioned, hey, you might have to hook up like a separate access point in order to run just your Internet of Thing devices, right? As soon as somebody said that, I'm like, that's a great idea. Now I got things hooked up. Everything runs. And ubiquity, if you are watching this, I would really, truly, and honestly love to get rid of my TP-Link router. I'm just saying, fix it. Give me a firmware update, make that stuff work. That's all. Here's what I did though. So I have, you know, Sky, Internet of Things, whatever, same password, same everything, have everything set up on the TP-Link. So whenever the firmware on the UniFi products, the access points are updated and everything's working, I can power down the TP-Link, I can power, or I could at least turn on the Wi-Fi 2.4 gigahertz thing on the UniFi software, and then power cycle all the devices, and they should connect to the new existing same SSID, you know, Wi-Fi network. And as long as all that stuff is fixed, I'm good to go. So that's it. Just a little bit of 100% sober Jason ranting about different reasons why things don't work on expensive items or something. Well, hey, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, recommendations, Make sure to leave those in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and have yourself a great day.